on Pod Hub Network. Your city, your podcast.
Everybody, all the Hermaniacs out there, welcome to another episode of Hermania. I am Herman, and tonight we got three good topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, NXT is not looking at any more indie wrestlers. We're going to talk about All Out. We're going to go through the hype. Is it all going to be hype, or is it actually going to be a good show? And lastly, on the Lapsed Fan, we're going to talk about women's wrestling and the pay-per-view last night, NWA Empower, and we'll wrap it all up in a nice big bow. But once again, welcome to Hermania. It is a pleasure to be here with you this week. It's not on Saturday night, Sunday night. We're figuring all this stuff out. But anyway, we're going to just jump right in, and we're going to talk about our first topic tonight. NXT says no more indie wrestlers. Dave Meltzer reported yesterday that NXT is no longer going to be scouting the indies for the potential talent, and that basically AEW is going to get whatever they want, carte blanche, on the indie scene. Now tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong a lot, so it's okay to tell me that I'm wrong. It's perfectly fine. But this seems extremely short-sighted and something that is going to change within a matter of years. I know Vince and his team and Bruce and John Laurinaitis are very confident in themselves. They feel, especially Vince has conquered the world of wrestling. He could do whatever he wants. I will build my own stars. Gosh, he hasn't. He's built Roman, and it's only because Roman turned heel. Vince hasn't built stars in a very long time. He hasn't built the box office people. Minus, once again, John Cena's starting to become box office, but it's been a very long time for that to happen. So for Vince to take almost a 180, right, and go, you know what, NXT failed, you lost to AEW, we don't need that indie talent anymore. We want them to work the WWE style, and we want to build them from the ground up. That, for a lack of a better term that I have right now, that's a lot of hoopsva. That he has a lot of balls right there going, I can make talent from the ground up. I don't need them to have any background. They could be football players. All they need to be is athletic and probably look good, and then I will make them superstars. That is incredibly short-sighted. My guess is that this isn't going to work. The new NXT logo, by the way, looks like my kid drew it, but I had to make the NXT and they just threw paint at it. That is what it is. But it's bad, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen. See, the thing is, they do have some good young talent in NXT right now, but you got I think we talked about it last week, the Ciampas, the Garganos, even the Candice LeRae's, and she's pregnant, but you have those types of individuals who have been around for a long time. Kyle O'Reilly is another one, right? Samoa Joe, anyway, have been around for a very long time, and they're older and they're young. I mean, they're older and they're shorter than what they want to be. They're out. if I'm them, there's many places to work now. They can go to Japan, they can go to AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, MLW, anywhere, NWA, and they're going to make money. This is their profession. They're going to make money. So I say screw the E, because E's not a wrestling company anymore. The E is a content development company, and they're not going to be able to continue to sustain any type of true growth with this pattern. The one thing they forget the W part is the wrestling part, right? World Wrestling Entertainment. The wrestling fans are the ones that are coming. If we're being brutally honest, and I'm going to be brutally honest, nobody is watching outside of WrestleMania unless a wrestling fan brings them in. And if wrestling fans go, this product is shit, I'm not going to watch it anymore, it's bad, they're gone. So that audience will keep dwindling and dwindling and dwindling. But like any big business does, they pick and choose what's the best indicators of growth and success. So they'll take, well, look at our YouTube numbers and, the network. And the network is not even a thing anymore in the United States. So they can't even do that. And they'll say, we're great. But then you're going to have content like AEW, who's putting out good content with good wrestling and actually decent storylines, right? AEW is going to come up and bite them in the ass a little bit. Now, AEW won't grow as big as WWE. If you think they will, you're nuts. But they're gonna nip at their heels, and WWE is going to become even more watered down, more bland, and it's going to get even more boring. So, as a wrestling fan, I am not going to invest myself in NXT. For the sheer fact that they basically said we don't care about the wrestling, and we only care that we have the same type of individuals who wrestle the same type that could wrestle the WWE style. Why am I paying attention to that? I like variety. I like uniqueness. I want to be out there and be engaged and involved. I want another Gargano Ciampa storyline. My God. Those matches kept me on the seat of my pants the entire time. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I want. But in the end, NXT and Vince are going to do whatever they want to do. It's his money. It's their product. USA Network's pissed, right? They actually came out and somebody said, we didn't pay for a tape show. They didn't pay for a tape show, and it's going to go bad. They're going to go back to Peacock or whatever. They're going to be off the USA Network, or they're going to get a significantly less amount of money to keep NXT on that show, on that network. And NXT is going to revert back to 2015 days and build it up from the ground up again. And we'll probably go through a cycle. I'm not one that's going to stick around for a cycle. I don't. Just keep going where you were going. If you don't care that what you get for the ratings, because you already got the money, they already paid it for you. They're not going to give you any more money because if you do better. God, just put out good content. You could sprinkle in some of your own people, right? But the people like us, wrestling fans, aren't going to stick with it and stay with it because you don't care about us. If you don't care about us, we don't care about you. But, there's still those WWE stands that are going to be out there. Nothing, the E can't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. It's dumb. WWE is, I would say NXT is in a free fall right now. I didn't check out spoilers, so I have no idea what's going to happen. And the thing is, if I cared about what was going to happen, I would have actually checked out the spoilers. So I don't know what's happening in the next couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on with Joe. I don't know if Cross is still there. Adam Cole is gone. Good for him. I'm glad wherever he lands, we'll talk about that here in a second, will be good for him. But, going forward, NXT, you really don't need to pay attention to it until something kicks off that is going to shock and it'll send shockwaves. Watch it afterwards. This is not a live broadcast that you need to watch anymore. It is not worth it. So next, we're going to talk about number 2. Will All Out match the hype? I am going to purchase this pay-per-view, and as of right now, I'm probably going to. I can't stream it outright, but I'm probably going to do live reactions. So next Sunday night, I will be live here on the multiple platforms to live stream All Out. And obviously, I'm excited for CM Punk versus Darby because I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm pretty sure you have to put over CM Punk, right? But Darby's going to look good. He always looks good. People are excited for him. But my God, what if Darby Allin beats CM Punk in his first match in AEW? You want to talk about getting a rocket ship strapped to your ass? That's it. Darby Allin beating CM Punk. You gotta think he's going to be an AEW champion within the next year. That would be insane. An amazing match. I think this match will absolutely match the hype. I believe it'll be it won't be the match of the night. I think there's other matches that'll be the match of the night, but it's going to be excellent, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next one I'm sort of looking forward to because we just saw it. Is Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega for the AEW title. And I don't think there's any, how do I put it? I don't think there's any doubt that Kenny Omega is going to beat Christian. Christian isn't ready. Is never going to be the AEW World Champion. I think the story ends with Kenny and Hangman, and Hangman coming back and winning that. But my God, I am excited for it because I've been a Christian fan for a long time. So if you can call me anything, I like the underdog, not from the scrappy little guy who can come out and beat the big guy, but the guy who gets overlooked, right? And Christian was overlooked in WWE from a singles standpoint for a very long time. He was the ECW champion, but Intercontinental champion, all of that. But in the end, Christian still wasn't given the due in the E. He got it in Impact. He got it in AEW now, and it's going to end up being really good. But still, Kenny Omega is going to win that one. Potential match of the night, but I think what truly will be the match of the night is what I'm going to talk about next, which is the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, taking on the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix, and here's how I would book it, right? They're going to have an amazing match. They're going to just tear the roof off of everything. They are going to match of the night. I'm putting it down right now. But I don't remember if the rules are escape or pin, whatever it is. But near the end, you're going to have the Young Bucks getting close to winning, and they're going to hit the Young Buck trigger or whatever they call it. Lights go out. You see on the screen, all it goes is, "I'm not dead." Then you see Bebe, and Adam Cole shows up in the middle of the ring, deals out super kicks to the Young Bucks, just destroys them. Penta and Rey hit their finisher and win the match. New tag team champions is my pick, but I would debut Adam Cole in that way because it keeps what they're doing about being elite. And of course, being a wrestling fan, if you're watching AEW, you probably know, but you'll get filled in probably before or after. Adam Cole shows up, costs the Young Bucks the championship. I will fangirl out completely. Next, you got Miro taking on Eddie Kingston. So here's the thing about Miro, right? I loved Rusev. I thought he was great. Rusev Day, they ruined him. AEW repackaged him, all that stuff. He doesn't wrestle enough or come out enough. So I forget about Miro sometimes. And I don't know if that's on purpose to where they want to go ahead and make him a special attraction. It probably does. But, he got the match with Eddie Kingston as of a Friday, right? And there's no build up to it, which is once again fine when it comes to All Out or any AEW pay-per-view. I can't believe I'm saying that when we talk about WWE and how their storylines are terrible. But they have enough at the top of the card that they're sort of like WCW, where they can just put on good matches below. So I think Miro is going to beat Eddie. Eddie's going to, put up a good fight, but Miro's not losing his belt for a while. Next, for the AEW Women's Championship, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. Britt's going to win. Britsburg. I'm from Pittsburgh, so Britsburg. But I think Chris is just she's great, right? And her character work is amazing, but she's never in that right position at the right time. She challenged Nyla Rose. I forget when, maybe a year and a half ago. Nyla wasn't losing that title, so you knew Chris was going to lose. Britt just got the title. She's a heel, but is beloved by everybody. It's not time. Now, Britt's going to hold that belt for a bit. So Britt's going to win it. It will meet the hype because they're two very good wrestlers. Next, and I should say that this is the match I'm the second least excited about. Chris Jericho and MJF. I don't care. I don't. MJF is going to be the top heel of this company unless the E steal him. And I'm done with this. MJF beat Jericho. I don't care if Chris Jericho never wrestles in AEW again. I'm a huge fan of Jericho. I don't need to see him, right? I don't need him to be wrestling. Let him lead the inner circle, but make Sammy the top guy in the inner circle, right? Put him on commentary or something. I'm not looking forward to it. I think Jericho is probably going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they swerved everybody and MJF sent Chris Jericho packing. Next is Andrade El Idolo versus Pac. Don't have much to say about this. I think Andrade needs the win, and he'll take over the contracts of the Lucha Brothers or something like that. But Andrade needs it. His start has been slow. This match should be excellent. Every Pac match is great. But once again, Andrade needs this W more than anything. And then a special attraction match, Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. I can't say that I've seen a lot of Kojima. I've watched a couple matches here and there. But from my understanding, this is going to be great. And Mox is going to go over. But I'm looking forward to it. Because once again, this is one of those matches. It's going to go on. It's going to be amazing. The hype will be high. It'll be wonderful. Mox goes over. Looking forward to it. Though Paul White versus QT Marshall. Who cares? Paul White's going to hit him with a punch. It's going to be done. The women's casino battle royal. There's 12 people still to be announced. I think it's pretty much a guarantee that Ruby Soho is going to be the wild card. Which means she's probably going to win. I want to go on a limb. I think the Inspiration, formerly the Iconics, will show up and be part of this. I think they're due to join AEW. But so for who wins? So Britt's not losing this title. The top contenders are obviously Thunder Rosa. Nyla Rose is always up there. But I can see. I'm going to go out on a limb. Allie is going to win this title. If not, win the match. If not, it's going to be Ruby Soho. I mean, you don't debut unless you're Matt Sydal, and then just don't win it. So either way, so that's all out. It will absolutely match the hype. I will be here reacting. I might even be playing some games. You never know. I don't know what's going to happen next week on the stream, but I look forward to it. You all should look forward to it. Put down that money and buy it. Don't illegally stream it. Don't be that guy or girl, whatever. All right. So for our last segment tonight, once again, I'd like to keep this show quick. We are going to talk about the Laps fan, which once again, I'm a Laps fan. And we're going to talk about women's wrestling. So when I essentially left wrestling back in around the mid 2000s, it was terrible. I mean, it wasn't. There was WWE, and that was pretty much it. I mean, you had Shimmer, right? If you can go, maybe some All Japan. I don't know if Stardom was back then. I don't think they're that old, but you really had a limited viewing, and I was a fan, and so the only thing I could do was, watch Shimmer. So I got to see the likes of cheerleader Melissa, Daisy Hayes, Lacey, Sarah Del Rey, you know, build their craft and show how good they were, better than everybody else. Then you had Awesome Kong or Amazing Kong come in. You had Nikki Rocks, right, back in the day. Chantel Taylor, Taylor Wilde. There was a big group who became semi-big on the mainstream, and that was the only place you can actually get quality wrestling product from a women's promotion. So it's a little bit different now back then. So I remember Layla, Michelle McCool, Mickey James, those mid 2000s, and you would get the 5-minute match, and I would go, oh, who cares about this? And then my wife, when we would watch it every once in a while, she would make the comments, would go, so this is going to last 5 minutes, right? I'm like, yeah. And it would last 5 minutes, and it would be bad, and you would move on with your life. And we didn't get anything until the WWE's faux women's revolution, which they only did it because something got trended on Twitter. And for me coming back, there's obviously a plethora right now of just good wrestling, because we're in the age where if you want to do something, there is the ability to go out, to learn how to do it, and to figure out how to apply your craft. And now, even WWE, they got the 4 horsewomen. They got Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and Bailey, who came up. You also got Bianca. You got Liv. You got Naomi. You have Shayna, who is tragically underused, but she doesn't fit Vince's mold, so it is what it is. You have Alexa Bliss, who was not a professional wrestler and came into it and really became her own. So you have quality on the WWE scene. The problem is they don't know how to use them correctly. And they get long matches, but there's no... Besides Bailey and Sasha over the past year in the pandemic, who was great together, I mean, you're looking at poorly built feuds, dumbly built feuds. I know Alexa's loving doing her Fiend gimmick right now, and more power to her. I'm happy for her. I want everybody to be happy and doing what they're doing. But, she's not going to face Charlotte. And she has to win, right? I mean, Alexa has to win. They're going to do the same thing they did with the Fiend, which take a gimmick which doesn't need a title and put the title on her. But I don't know. We have to get her out of that. We just want to see Alexa Bliss back. But so, I mean, that's what we have now. And then you have AEW, which the women's scene can use some help. Like, they have great talent, but they are not utilizing them well. I don't know what Kenny's doing. Kenny's supposed to be over that, right? But I mean, you got Britt, you got Chris, you got Nyla, Thunder Rosa, who is amazing, Ty Conte, who came over from NXT and could be herself, has improved immensely. Red Velvet's young, right? And give her some time. You got Jade Cargill, right? They have superstar written all over Jade Cargill. I don't know if she's going to be in the Casino Battle Royal, but if she was, I might have to change my pick to have her win it, because she's just going to destroy some people. And then you might have the Inspiration coming in. You might have Ruby Soho. I'm sure Chelsea Green is going to show up at some point. There's a plethora of talent out there. Impact has a better women's wrestling roster, I feel. But now it seems like anywhere you look, you can find good talent. And then above all of it, right, you got Stardom. And they're going through their 5-star GP right now. You should definitely go check it out. I think they showed a show. It aired like at 1 o'clock in the morning here in America, but I think it's still on their YouTube. You should go check that out. They have an amazing roster, and their wrestling is on par with most of the wrestling's on par with, I would say, upper tier male wrestling. in Japan and in America. So, from a Lapsed fan perspective, I come from an era where, even back in the Attitude Era, I was a teenager, so a horny teenager, whatever. But I didn't really appreciate what it was. I was brought up to believe that, they couldn't do anything. They wouldn't be that great. But now, coming back, I enjoy it. It's good TV. They have good characters. They actually have development in who they are, and there's storylines behind them. And starting a little teaser, starting in a couple weeks, I'll be streaming another time during the week, and we'll be doing a show about the characters of talent from in the past and today, and really dissecting them from a really creative standpoint. So that's coming. Be on the lookout for that. But we'll obviously pick some women to go through that. But women's wrestling has just done much more than it has in the past. I'm happy that it's here now, and I wish that we can have more of it, and better storylines. I wish Vince cared about it. But I know that's our show for this week. Once again, I'm glad if you joined us. So our next show will be Friday, September. What is that? It's this next Friday, because Friday is September 3rd. Because I have a special guest coming on next week. Professional wrestler from Missouri, Nothing Neater, Derek Teeter, will be joining me throughout the episode. We're going to be talking about his career, what he wants to do. He has a show coming up here in where we live in Missouri. We're going to talk about that. And I would love to, if you are in professional wrestling or are part of it and somehow a wrestler, manager, whatever, and you want to come on to the show, reach out to me at Hermania Show on Twitter. And then we can chat and we can figure that all out. But that is the show for this week. I'm glad you all could be here. Thank you all for showed up and watched and listened. This will be out as a podcast sometime tomorrow. But for Hermania, my name is Brian Herman. I'll see you all next time.